What's going on, everybody? This is Al from NCAA 06 Revival, and I made a couple mistakes in the preseason video, and I thought it was a good idea before I started my first game with Furman was to correct those mistakes before we get knee-deep into the Dynasty. And those two mistakes were, one, I forgot to turn the contracts off, and I'll get to that here in a little bit, and then my schedule. I made that thing way too stupidly hard. I don't know what I was thinking. So this is another preseason video, but with these other changes that will make more sense in the long run. I may get some backlash for some of these changes, but I don't care. I'm trying to think of everybody here in the long term. As long as I enjoy it, as long as you are enjoying it, I want to see this Furman Dynasty go for a long, long way. And in order to do that, we need to make a couple of these changes. And I just simply forgot to do that in the last video. So just be patient. We're going to get to the preseason stuff again. So the changes you're going to see are, we'll just go through them right now. So we're going to start the Dynasty over again. Let's go to Furman. Let's add Furman. I'm going to replace him with Notre Dame. And we're going to go, no, we're not going to add all these users. That'd take me forever. Imagine me doing like a 16 Dynasty. Jeez, I wouldn't know what to do with myself. We'll go to Furman. We're going to edit our coach. You've seen this 100 times in the past. I never change any of this. Go here, put in my name. We'll go white. We'll go blonde. We'll go mullet. I'm a young, glasses, no. Okay. So everything is good here. Here's what we got to do. Coach contracts. We have to turn this off because I forgot about this, and I'm glad somebody in the comments said this. It's very possible you have two bad losing seasons to start out. You can get fired. And I have no plans on going to another team. I noticed I got my name wrong. I got Sex. I'm an idiot. Let me change this. Thankfully, you can change this on the fly anytime during your Dynasty. So what I was going to do, like if I ever had like a 30-year Dynasty, every 10 years or so, I would change my face to a young or to a medium and then to an old. So that's something to think about. If you have that long length of a Dynasty, you can just change the face to make yourself look older. Look yourself look bigger or whatever. So there we go. Okay, but go back to coach contracts. Again, I'm not going to ever change teams in this Dynasty. This is with Furman for the long haul. And like I said before, it's very possible I could get fired after season 2, even though we saw improvement. I fully expect to barely win 2 games this first season. The next season, you hope to win 3 or 4. That's improvement, but this game doesn't look at it that way. They're pretty cutthroat about things. If you don't start winning big, like within 3 years, they'll cut you easily. And we want to avoid that because we want to see this thing go a very long way. So we're going to turn coach contracts off. So that's another tip I should have added to that blog post I've been talking about in the previous video. And I think once I'm done with this Dynasty, I may have a bunch of other tips that I will probably learn along the way. And I may make a part 2 post on how to run a FCS Dynasty and make it easy on yourself, or at least make it more palatable. Okay, so we got coach contracts off. So we're going to begin the Dynasty. And the first thing we'll do, we'll go to our schedule. Now, the schedule's going to change. That was the second thing. I was really dumb to put, if I remember correctly, I still want to start with one ranked team. I'm a one-star program. I want one ranked team on the schedule. I always want South Carolina or Clemson on the schedule just because they're in-state. And I'm always going to put a AA team on there, a rival. In this case, it'll be Wofford. I think a bunch of other teams in the SoCon are rivals of mine. So I may rotate them out every year of some sort. So we're going to look at that now. But what I had before, I had like Boston College, but I also had Stanford, North Carolina. Who else did I? Nebraska, and then Clemson. I had a lot of Power 5 schools that were still pretty good. They just weren't ranked. That's still really dumb on my part. I mean, I will not hold it against you if you start an FCS Dynasty and you put a bunch of cupcakes on the roster. I think it only makes sense. I went back and looked at a couple lower or group of 5 teams this year in 2019. It kind of looked at their schedule, and the vast majority of them do 2 things. They at least have one big time Power 5 game on the schedule, and they have a AA team on the schedule. And I'm going to do the same. So we're going to do that here. So I still want... We had Ohio here. I still don't mind keeping that. And we still had Boston College. And it's been forever since I played at Boston College. So I want to keep that. And that's our ranked game for the year. And I think it was week 9 where I was able to schedule Clemson. We're going at Clemson. Now the rest of the way, remember, you want to schedule 12 games. It gives you that extra game, gives you an extra chance to possibly win. So this open date, I'm going to put Wofford. They are technically our biggest rival. I don't want to put 2 AA schools on there because most teams don't do that. So I'm not going to do it. And I'm going to put a week 10 at home game. Hopefully we can get some type of, some recruits coming in that week. Let's do a home game. Now we're going to switch the rest of these out. I still may put 1 or 2 more Power 5 schools on there, but it's not going to be many. So I'm trying to think of teams that would be willing to visit here. Of course, we're not going to play Tennessee. That'd be dumb. We don't have many options here. I want a home game here because we got to think about recruiting. We could do Temple. Navy. I got another home. I don't need that many. I need an away game. We can do an away game here. Let's go at Memphis. Week 13, we could do a home game here. Let's pick somebody that we think. Let's do Florida International maybe. We'll do Florida International because that's one of our pipelines initially. So I'm okay with that. Then here, last game of the schedule. We can go at Hawaii. I'm okay with that. Conference USA, Sunbelt. No, my bad. They are WAC. Sunbelt, Conference USA, Independent, AA, ACC. Now we got to schedule the rest of these. We got these 2, so we got 4 more games to fill up. Let's go here. The Citadel. Nah, that's a AA school. I'm not going to do it. I already got one on the schedule. TCU. Let's just keep going. I'd love to do South Carolina, but I already got Clemson on the list. I don't need both. I'll switch them out until I find like a really good rivalry between the 2. Notre Dame. I'm not doing it. Hate Notre Dame. I wonder if Duke. This is week 8. Let's see. I got home and a home and a home. So we could do. Let's go to the very bottom. Yeah, all of the Western Michigan, Western Kentucky. I want to keep it kind of local. I don't need to. If we're going on the road, I still want to keep it somewhat in the South. I want to play somebody in Georgia. Though I'm thinking Georgia and Georgia Tech are the only FBS schools on here because Georgia's going to be a big pipeline for me. I may put North Carolina back on there. What we can do, we can try. Let's see if we can get Duke on the schedule. I want an ACC school, but here's Duke. We could do Duke. I can see them coming here because they're terrible. We can have a home game there. We could do another road game here. Let's just keep going. I like to do a Big 12 school. Go on the road to a big, or maybe SEC. Let's try to do SEC, but not South Carolina. Maybe at Mississippi State may be a good idea. Let's do at Mississippi. It's been a long time since I've played there. Let's do at Mississippi State. So that'd be 2 tough ones. No, I probably don't need to do that. Let me think. I need to keep it reasonable here. I don't need that many Power 5 schools on the list. We can have Idaho at home. Let's go at Duke, Idaho at home. Troy, that's Alabama. Army, I think we had Army on the schedule. I don't mind playing them. We can do a home here. And then on this one right here, we can play. See, I'd love to play one of these 2, but it's probably not my bench. I had ECU on the list. That's Conference USA. Do I have a conference? I got Memphis on the schedule. Cincinnati, Connecticut, that's kind of north. I could do Ball State. Arkansas State, Arkansas. Let me go back to the very bottom again. See if I missed anybody. Looks like we got quite a few more options at this spot. Washington State, Wake Forest. I've already got 2 ACC schools on the list. I don't need another one. USF, that's Big East. We could do South Florida. I'm okay with that. So let's see here. Ohio. So 1, 2. We need 6 and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we need another away game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need another away game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more away. I want the back half to be more home. Let's go. I'm trying to keep it like home away type. Home. I guess we can schedule one of these 2 on the road. We could do at South Florida. That makes more sense. We want to go into Florida, maybe try to recruit there, that type of thing. Let's just go at South Florida. Okay. This schedule seems a little bit more manageable than before. At Hawaii, Florida International, Memphis, Temple, Wofford, at Clemson, Idaho, at home. Would be. I almost want to go 2, but that'd be like 3 straight road games. We don't want to do that. We want to keep that at home. Duke, Army, South Florida, Boston College, and Ohio. I think that's a pretty reasonable schedule. I think the other schedule in the other video is still a C- on the strength of schedule. But this seems just a little bit easier. I don't know if you can go below a C-, to be honest. I don't know if you can get a D+ schedule. You may be able to, but I'm not too worried about that. We got our goals, though. We got Boston College, our ranked game. We got Clemson or South Carolina on the list. And we got Wofford. And the rest of these should be manageable. Again, we still probably will just win 1 game. But I'm okay with that. We'll try to do better, obviously. Now here, the redshirting, I don't remember ever redshirting anybody in the previous video. Let me just look here real quick. None of these players are worth redshirting. They're all terrible. So I'm not going to bother. Okay, let's go to coach options. Let's get this out of the way. Playbook, this doesn't matter, but we can do... Let's do a balanced run. Yeah, let's do a balanced run. That makes more sense. Because not everything we're going to be doing run-wise is option. I get option run, I guess. I forgot. I may have to switch this up later depending on the recruiting. But I'm pretty sure option run... Balanced. I think balanced or option run still gives me the numbers I need. We'll look at that in the recruiting in terms of the depth. Base defense, still 4-4. The rest of this, I'll just quickly get this. Again, this is all subbing, so it doesn't, or simulation, so it doesn't matter. Do it all at 50. Do that. Okay, let's go turn these off. And we go to report card. It still should say, oh, without coaching, yeah, I don't have coaching contract, so I don't have to worry about goals or anything. Because we're staying here forever, so we don't have to worry about it. Okay, now let's go to roster. Get this out of the way. Just, again, nothing's changing playbook-wise. I'm still going to run the I option. Let's go to rosters. Let's go depth chart. Get this fixed if we can. Looks like we're going to have Gray start. I'm an idiot. Back up to Martin. We'll go here. Which one's got the better carry rating? Break tackle is a little bit better. Yeah, so Mays will be his backup. Fullback, they're exactly the same. I'm okay with all that there. Tight end. I don't think these 2 guys were exactly the same. So I don't think it really matters. One guy's, an inch taller. Does that make a difference and a pound bigger? I don't know. I don't think it matters. They're both, all of them are terrible. We got to look here. And I completely forgot who's got, okay, Flipovich is the better run blocker. So let's go switch him. Left guard, that's going to stay the same. Yes, yes. Here, I don't think it mattered. Run blocking and pass blocking were both the same. And he's a little... Again, it just doesn't really matter. Defensive end, I don't think it mattered. Both of them were the same. Ravenel is definitely starting to get right in. Defensive tackle, I'm okay with all of that. I mean, this guy's bigger, but he's not as strong. So I'll just leave him as he is. I mean, what's the difference between a 44 and a 40, right? I think I had to switch some stuff up here. I think we need Sagal there. And Felton and then Sagal. Let me make sure I didn't have anybody else. I could always put Gibson as a middle linebacker. Or I'd love to put somebody else here, but we just don't have anybody else. We got Freeman. That's right. Freeman is actually a little bit better than my other ones. There's the other middle linebacker. So, Nagel, Freeman, Jones, Felton, Jerome Felton, 45. Somebody had a comment. I forgot who it was. He mentioned Jerome Felton used to play halfback back in the day or something, or fullback maybe. As you can tell, he does. No, different. Interesting. Look at this. Jerome Felton, number 45 on offense, white guy. And Jerome Felton, number 45, a black guy. Maybe there's two Jerome Feltons. I don't know. That's kind of weird. Or to that, or I don't know. Interesting, though. Okay, let's keep going. We're only going to have two guys play the entire time, so that's pretty obvious what we're going to stick with here. Free safety, these two guys are exactly the same player, so it doesn't matter. Strong safety, Thacker, definitely. He's going to be my starting safety, basically. This is where I'm playing one safety at a time. Kicker, let me put my other... Doesn't really matter at this point. And one thing I forgot to mention, and I'll try to not to forget that here in a little bit. I'll do that after this depth chart stuff. We could do Thacker, Carter, and Gibson. I'm okay with that. Thacker, Martin. I don't need Gibson to do that much on... I mean, I need him as healthy as possible. If he goes down, then we're screwed, to say the least. Kickoff starter, we got to go with our kicker. We'll put the punter behind him. Long snapper will be our starting center. We don't want any mess-ups there and there. Okay, we don't have to do anything with captains. Martin is our... Wait a minute. Let me go back and look at something. Let me go depth chart. It just occurred to me. Gibson, yes. I have Gibson as my number 3 guy. For some reason, I thought I accidentally put my quarterback there. That would have been weird. Let's go back to rosters. We shouldn't have to change anything on the captain status. This doesn't really matter. Okay, so what I was going to get at was... Here's something to think about for the next couple of days. It'll probably be Wednesday before I make another video. I option offense, 4-4 defense, and here's what I'm doing: special teams. I pay close attention. Kevin Kelly. I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but he is the high school coach that never punts, never kicks. He always onside kicks, does all that stuff. And I'm going to do the same here. Now, I have terrible kickers. Plus, I do not want to give the other team easy touchdowns by kicking it to them. We have slow players, and they just run right past us for easy kick returns for touchdowns, or kickoff returns, punt returns for touchdowns. We want to avoid all of that, so we're going to do a lot of onside kicking. Just take a chance. If it doesn't work, it's no big deal. At least they can't return it. Okay? Punting. I also want to avoid... punting to a guy and letting him run in the back. On top of that, is it worth me punting very high up in the air and having the other team fair catch it and it barely go 30 yards? I mean, they're going to have good field advantage anyways. So I may just not punt, period. My defense is going to be so bad, I don't think it's going to make a difference. So I honestly believe we have a better chance of just going for it on a 4th down on our own 20 with our impact quarterback and halfback compared to me punting it and them scoring anyways. So when it comes to special teams, again, I'm going to do nothing but onside kicks, and I doubt I'll do any punting. So something to stew on for the next couple of days. That's going to be really interesting to see how all that plays out. Okay, we got all that done. I'm not going to go through the Athlon sports. We went through that in the previous video. There's nothing to see here. We know we are terrible across the board. So now we got recruiting. Now this will change a little bit because we got a brand new bunch of kids we can go after. We know our pipeline states. Obviously, South Carolina, Georgia, North Carolina, Tennessee, Florida. I want to keep it at Georgia, North Carolina, and Tennessee. I may do Florida. We'll just see how it goes. But I really want to nail down Georgia and North Carolina. They're the 2 states closest to us. And I want to do Tennessee just because I'm from Tennessee. And that's close enough. And actually, Furman is like 4 hours away from my house, so it's close. Okay, let's just do by position. We need a little bit of everything, so let's find a quarterback that kind of fits our needs. We're going to do the exact same as we've done in the previous video. We're going to go after one 4-star kid from in-state, and then the other spots, we will do 3-star kids from pipelines. Hopefully one of each position we can go after. I'm going to go after majority of offensive players because we need more help there just to sustain drives and score points than defense. So let's go to the 3 stars, and let's just look at some speed guys here. This kid's from Mississippi. Kid from Florida, Wayne McDaniel, we may go after him. We'll keep looking, though. A lot of these guys are kind of slow. Here's a kid from Georgia, 4'6'9", that's kind of slow. I like his size, too. I mean, or his strength. So it comes down to... Where'd he go? Oh, here's the Tennessee. Oh, 4'8'2". I'm an idiot. Okay, 4'6'9", 265, 445, or... McDaniels, 240, 350, 452. Much quicker. But this kid is much stronger. 4'6'9", I don't need the fastest guy in the world. 6 feet, 195. Noah Peterson. You can't teach speed. I know that much. So let's just go after him for now. And we may go back to the other guy if we can't find anybody else. Halfback. I need somebody who's fast and strong. This is going to be hard going after the 3-star kids. Let's just find an impact or a pipeline player. Alabama, I'm not going to go after. I'm not going to treat that as a pipeline. That's a little too far off for me. Florida, 441, 520 on the squad, 325. Okay, we got a couple kids here. 448, 511, 205. 5'8", 5'11". This kid's a little bit bigger than the other two. I don't need just a speedster. I need somebody who can do a little bit of everything. He don't need to catch, but 5'11", Kenneth Jones. I kind of like this kid. I don't care about the awareness. He's a little faster, but this guy's much bigger. We could just go after him. I didn't really see anybody. 448, 520 on the squad. I didn't see anybody else, so we'll just go with him for now. And that's a 4-star kid. We're not going after him yet. Fullback, we can look here. What I'm going to do is, somebody made a good comment on this. I didn't talk about this in the previous video. Normal fullbacks don't do well, at least in this type of offense. A converted halfback, or you could convert a tight end or a big receiver to fullback. So I'm probably not going to waste a scholarship on one of these guys. Here's a kid from South Carolina. Really slow, though. We need somebody a little bit faster. North Carolina, 4-star. But I may convert tight ends and big wide receivers to fullback, so you can really do some damage with them. Or a bigger halfback. So with that being said, let's go to the wide receivers. I need some monsters here. I need monsters who could play fullback or just stay at receiver. Let's go to the 3-star. A lot of 4-star receivers. Alabama, I'm not going to bother. North Carolina, 6'4", 190. He's not the strongest, but he's tall. Really fast. That's a pretty good receiver for what we need. Let's keep going. This kid's really weak, really small. He is not what we need. Another Alabama kid. Look at his strength, though. I may take a chance on this kid. 6'3", 175. His height is good, but his squat is great. I mean, that's a very strong kid right there. 445, 305, 445, 6'1", 205. This kid's a pretty good one, too. 350, 448, not very tall. So I really didn't see any big kids. Here's a 225 from Alabama. Andrew Adkins. We need to go after him. Let's just go after him. He's ideal. He could play fullback or he could play receiver. And he's one of the strongest dudes on this list. And we're up to the 4-star. So let's just do him for now. I like that kid. Okay, tight end. I just need a behemoth. We need big size, humongous guys at tight end. It's almost easier to go after a wide receiver and convert him to fullback than tight end. Just kind of depends on what you're looking for. So go back up to the top of the 3-stars. 3-star to North Carolina, 6'1", 460. This kid is like a fullback for me. So we may try him. 6'8", 260. Gosh, that kid's humongous. He's got the strength, too. Let's keep going. Let's just see what we got here. 6'4", 252, 501, 470. That's pretty strong. That's a tight end. True tight end for me. 6'5", 265, 470. That's tight end for me. So what we can do, we can probably go after a couple of these. Let's go after this Tennessee kid. I like his size, 6'5", 265. He's actually a little bit faster than this kid. 265. And let's go after this little small one. Maybe we can convert him. He's really small. He's fast. We can convert him to fullback. So let's do that. Okay, so that's our fullback and our true tight end, basically. We got 7 spots. So let's go after a tackle, a guard, and a center if we can. And here it's pretty simple. You get the biggest dudes you can find. Biggest and strongest. 6'5", 325, 490, 690. We're going to put one on him for now. Let's see if we can find one that's... This kid is the exact same player. But I want the kid from North Carolina instead. Here's another one from North Carolina. Not as strong. 6'5", 328. But a little bit heavier. Let's keep going. Georgia, 620. He's only 280. I got to get somebody bigger. I need some weight. South Carolina, 6'5", 336. My goodness, that's big. 480, 655. Now, was he heavier than this kid or stronger? He's not as strong. So maybe I wouldn't. So this kid maybe isn't what I need. He's heavier. He's about 13 pounds heavier, but he's not as strong. So it's just like, what do you pick? The stronger one or the heavier one, you know? Alabama 6'7", just 280, though. So for now, I like this kid right here. We'll go with the North Carolina kid. South Carolina, since it's my home state, it'll never become a non-pipeline state. So I don't get too upset if I don't go after South Carolina kids too often. Guard, let's go find a humongous guard if we can. Okay, let's see here. Tennessee, 6'5", 347. We'll put one on him. That's 680 on the squat. That's pretty good. And that's it. So that's the ideal guard we need. The slowest guy of the bunch, but he's by far the biggest. Out of Laverne, Tennessee. Definitely the strongest of the 3 stars. We'll go after at least one. A center. We need some help here. Let's go back up to the top of the 3s. Alabama kid, not very big. It's hard to find really big centers, except for this one. This guy's really big. Jeez. 6'5", 325. Let's put one on him. 6'2", 295. He's not as strong and not as big, so we'll stick with Robertson. And that's it. Ideal center. You can't get any bigger or badder than that one right there. Okay, I'm not worried about defensive end. Let's look at a defensive tackle. I'd love to go. This may be the 4-star we may go after. I don't know. We'll see. Let's go to the 3 stars. Let's try to find the biggest dude we can find. Alabama. This kid's really big. Let's keep going. So it's down between these 2 kids right here. This guy's pretty big, but he's not as strong as this kid that's 285. So I'm not really happy with either one of them, to be honest. So we'll just wait. Outside linebacker. I'd like to go, I got 4 spots left. We're going to go after, let's go get our 4-star first, and then that gives us 3 spots for our other spots on defense. I think that's a good idea. Otherwise, I'll forget about going after one 4-star guy. So let's go back to all. So it's these 4. 6'2", 242 tight end. He's a blocking tight end, but we're already going after 2 of them, so I'm not worried about him. Greg Blanchard. I need some help at free safety. Free safety is humongous in our defense. His speed's okay, but I kind of want to wait first. We may go after this guy right here. Jeremy, I don't know if we have. He's a top 50. I doubt it's going to happen. Okay, we need to go after this one right here. It's pretty obvious. Middle linebackers, well, you've seen me do it 5,000 times. These are the best guys to convert to defensive end, but they're really great to stay at middle linebacker if needed. And I need help both a middle linebacker and a defensive end. I need 2 of each at all times. So he will be our 4-star. I think we have a better chance of going after him than some of these other ones. But 6'6", 240, 4'5", yes, please. If we could get lucky, somehow just be in the conversation with him, that would be great. Okay. I'm going after one middle linebacker, and I got 3 spots left. So let's go after one more middle linebacker, or an outside linebacker. I got to replace one that's leaving. So let's do an outside linebacker, a corner, and a free safety. No, let's just look at the outside linebackers first. Let's go back to all states, and let's go to outside linebacker. Unless we find somebody that's super fast, I'm not going to bother. Let's go down to the 3-star. 4'6", that's not fast enough. 4'7", no thanks. And that's kind of it. So I'm not too worried about the outside linebackers. So our last 3 spots will be a middle linebacker, a corner, and a free safety. So let's go get another middle linebacker. Again, we want somebody really big that could play middle linebacker or defensive end if we need to switch them. Okay. 6'4", 230, that's good. This guy's a little bit heavier, but this guy's really strong. Look at it, 6'55". So let's go ahead and put one on him. Sean Taylor out of Florida. You about have to have Florida as a pipeline. If you're that close, that many kids, it just makes sense to do so. Let's keep going. 5'10", 220. I'm sorry, no. You look like an outside linebacker, to be honest. He may be better converted than an outside linebacker, but he can't do that to after his freshman year. Let's keep going. Oh, we were okay. Let's just make sure we need to compare. 6'6", 229. He's not as heavy, and he's not as strong as the Taylor kid. 6'5", 230. 380, 655. 4'6", though. 380. It's the exact same guys. This guy's 6'4", 230. This guy is 6'5", 230, and he's a local kid. So we may have a better chance of getting him. So I don't mind taking a chance on this kid. I need more commitments. Technically it makes more sense to go after the Florida kid. It stabilizes your pipeline. But we probably have a better chance of getting this kid instead. He's big, he's fast enough, and he's strong enough. So that works out great. Larry Davis. Okay. Now let's go after a corner. I need height. And speed would be even icing on the cake, basically. So let's go 3 stars. Okay, 5'11", no. 6 feet, not good enough. 6'1", 6'2", 4'3", We'll probably go after this kid. Let's just put 1 on him for now. And that's it. So that's our ideal player right there. 6'2", 195, good speed. Will be perfect for our defense. Okay, I wish you could show the jump stat or their rating, but it's just not on here. Free safety. This is our last spot. Let's find somebody with speed. We need some speed who's got to cover a lot of ground. Let's go up to the 3 stars. 4.52. That's too slow. 4.35. 6'1". Stan Myers. Let's put 1 on him. His awareness is terrible, but we need speed. And that's it. That worked out perfectly. I don't know if you noticed that, but a lot of these positions have kind of worked out perfectly for the team, for each player we're going after. There's one ideal player. And it's a pipeline, obviously. So, okay, that's all of our scholarships. There's nothing else we need to do. We've taken care of everything else. We got that. Again, we're not going to go through the Athlon Sports. That's redundant. We've done that in the last video. So let's go to play week, and let's simulate the week. Again, I hope you all understand why I made some of the changes. I think it's better for all of us in the long run. I want to see this thing go for many seasons. I know you want to as well. You want to see me succeed and have fun with it. And I think turning the contracts off, that way we don't have to worry about getting fired in 2 years, which makes no sense. And making the schedule at least a tad bit more reasonable. Okay, in-season recruiting. Let's see if we get lucky on some of these. All right, we got one guy who likes one of our pitches. Wide receiver. Let's go ahead and put 20 on him. Again, I'm going to stick with the same recruiting method. If I was winning consistently, I would definitely put points on everybody. But that's not going to happen. And these guys really overreact if you win or lose. So at least we got to show these guys some love. So let's keep on going. Just make sure we don't have anybody else have a plus sign as a positive or for a pitch. So that one's pretty obvious. So we got 4-star. This is great. We are number 2 on his list already for this 4-star. We got to put 20 on him. Now let's go for the rest of these. Pretty low for this quarterback. Okay, now, I think I said this in the previous preseason video, but pretty good chance I'll be going after athletes for this spot. Unless I find a quarterback that could run as well, obviously. But I've always noticed in my past, athletes tend to make pretty good quarterbacks if they can fit that, mold. Looks good for this tight end. This is the kid that could be a fullback for us. Let's go ahead and put 20 on him. We can adjust later if need be. Low for him. High for this other tight end out of Clarksville. He's our true tight end. Kind of high for this middle linebacker, corner, free safety, and everybody's kind of low. Between the top 3 and the 4, there's not much difference. And I got 2 spots left. So it just kind of comes down to what we really need. You just got to take a chance on some of these. So I'm going after a middle linebacker, a wide receiver, a tight end. I need an offensive lineman. That would be nice. So, did I have any of these high on my list? No. Free safety is 4th spot. Technically 2nd, but corner. This is ideal corner. Halfback doesn't look like it's all that great there, so we can wait. We're going to run the ball so much and so well. We shouldn't have any problems going after halfbacks. Here's another middle linebacker that could help us. South Carolina kid. Let's put some on him. Again, this is technically a defensive end or middle linebacker. And this other tight end, we may need to go after him. Well, I feel like I want one of these two guys here. Georgia, North Carolina. Yeah, I just got to take a chance on one of the two. Let me look here. One thing we do need to look at is needs. Wide receiver... 2. I'm just doing some math here. It looks like they only need 4 wide receivers on our offense when we go with the option run, offensive type. 3 tight ends, which I like. 3. Okay. Free safety. Technically, it shows I only need 1. But he's... Corner. We got a bunch of juniors. We probably need a corner. Oh, I don't know. That's a tough decision. Wide receiver. The tight end seems obvious. We're at the top with him. We got a high pitch for him, or a positive pitch. We got to stick with him. And we got to go over this middle linebacker. Just because he's a local kid, I think we have a better chance with him. So we're down to 2 more. I could try to go 17 across. We can, or 15 across. Let's just do that. And we'll do 17, 17, 17, or whatever the math comes out to. Tight ends are very important. Because they got to block the edge. I'm going to be running to the outside a lot. Offense is more important right now. Let's do 15. And we're going to do another 15 for... The free safety is more important than the corner for me right now, I think. 4-3-5. He's even faster than that corner. Let's do 15 here. And let's go 16. So we're going to go after 6 guys. Hopefully that doesn't spread us too thin. 4 more points. The middle linebacker, the wide receiver. And again, there's not much difference on these points. Okay, that's it. All right. In the next video, we will take on Ohio just like we was going to in the previous video. And again, I hope you all understand the reason why I made the changes. I think it benefits everybody. And I'm looking forward to this Dynasty even now more so than I did yesterday. All right. Come on back. And I'll talk to you later.